The Way Back. Welcome to another inspiring story. Today, we will follow the journey of Julio, a young man with great potential who, in seeking acceptance, took difficult paths and drifted away from everything he believed in. His journey is marked by challenges, poor choices, and the powerful influence of social pressure. But above all, it is a story of transformation, redemption, and hope. Discover how Julio found the strength to face his mistakes, reclaim his life, and become an example for others. Let's explore together how faith, determination, and the right support can help us overcome the darkest moments. If you enjoy inspiring stories like this one, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell. This helps us continue to bring content that uplifts and touches the heart. Now, let's dive into this incredible journey of overcoming. Julio had always been a young man of great potential. He grew up in a small town where everyone knew him as a kind-hearted and intelligent boy. His family, though humble, was loving and did their best to instill in him values of respect, honesty, and hard work. From a young age, Julio often heard his mother say that God had a special plan for his life, something he eventually forgot or ignored as time went by. In his teenage years, a mix of curiosity and a desire to feel accepted led him to seek the company of people who did not share the same values he had learned at home. At first, it seemed harmless, small deviations here and there, nothing that seemed serious. However, many of his choices were not entirely his own. I remember one occasion when, during a casual meeting with friends, one of them suggested taking something from a store without paying. Julio hesitated, but the laughter and teasing of his companions made him give in. Though he knew it was wrong, the fear of being ridiculed overpowered him. As he became more involved with those leading questionable lifestyles, Julio began to distance himself from the people who loved him and to ignore the advice of his family. Gradually, bad choices became a habit, and the consequences started to silently but devastatingly accumulate. There was also the incident at a party where the insistence of friends led him to try something he had sworn never to touch. Despite initial discomfort, the fear of being seen as a coward or a goody-goody won out. Each new experience, influenced by social pressure, pushed him further from his principles. The influence of his new companions led him down a dark path. Julio began participating in actions that went against everything he had been taught. Initially, he felt guilty, but the need to be accepted by those around him drowned out his conscience. He started frequenting places he had never imagined, and each new decision seemed to push him further away from his values. His life became an endless cycle of mistakes and regrets. Slowly, he realized that the consequences of his choices were taking a toll. He lost opportunities, alienated true friends, and jeopardized his own integrity. One night, after committing a small offense with a group, his friends laughed and congratulated him. But alone at home, Julio felt an overwhelming sadness. He knew this wasn't the life he wanted. Even so, the influences around him remained strong. In another pivotal moment, Julio was invited to join a scheme promising quick money. He knew it was illegal, but the pressure from his peers and the fear of appearing weak made him agree. The earnings, though temporary, brought constant anxiety, a reminder that his actions could have severe consequences. These moments began to weigh heavily on his conscience. One day, after a particularly difficult situation, Julio remembered his mother's words, "God never abandons us, even when we stray from Him." That memory sparked something in his heart, something he hadn't felt in a long time. It was as if those words had been waiting for the right moment to resurface. With the little strength he had left, he decided to seek help, even though he didn't know exactly where to start. Julio reached out to an old family friend, a man known for his deep spirituality. After listening to him, the friend said, "The first thing you need to do is ask God for forgiveness. No matter how far you've strayed, He's always ready to welcome you back." These words profoundly moved Julio, who decided to lay his burdens and mistakes at God's feet. Though skeptical at first, he began to pray, even if his words were hesitant and filled with doubts. With each prayer, he felt a small but noticeable change in his heart. The journey wasn't easy. At first, Julio struggled with doubt and the fear of not being worthy of redemption. He constantly questioned whether God would truly hear him or if there was any hope for someone who had strayed so far. But as he spent more time praying and reflecting on his choices, he began to feel a peace he had never experienced before. This peace wasn't a magical solution to his problems, but an inner strength that helped him face each day with renewed courage. He also started attending support groups filled with people who believed in his ability to change and encouraged him to stay on the right path. These gatherings, full of stories of overcoming challenges, served as constant reminders that he wasn't alone in his struggle. Over the months, Julio faced many challenges. He had to completely distance himself from the friendships that had led him astray and rebuild his life almost from scratch. It was difficult because these friendships, despite being harmful, still held emotional appeal. He had to learn to say no, even when the pressure felt unbearable. A pivotal moment came when an old friend tried to convince him to return to the group. Despite the temptation and promises of fun, Julio remained firm, remembering where those choices had taken him. In time, Julio began to rebuild his life. He found a simple job that allowed him to live honestly. With each small victory, he thanked God for not giving up on him. He also rediscovered talents he had neglected, like his skill with words and his ability to connect with people. His family, initially skeptical about his ability to change, began to see that something genuinely different had happened. Julio was no longer the same. He was a new person, guided by faith and the desire to be better. His mother, who had prayed silently for him countless times, now watched him with tears of gratitude in her eyes. Years later, Julio had not only rebuilt his life, but also become an inspiration to others. He decided to share his story, helping young people who, like him, were lost and needed guidance. He began visiting communities, giving talks about the pitfalls of bad influences and the transformative power of faith. In every conversation, he emphasized the importance of seeking help and trusting that God always offers a second chance. He used examples from his own life, showing that even in the darkest moments, there is hope. His message was clear. No matter how far you've gone, there is always a way back when you trust in God. Today, Julio looks back on his past not with shame but with gratitude. He knows that each challenge and mistake shaped him into who he is now. He found redemption through spirituality and faith, and his life is living proof that no matter how dark the path, divine light can always guide us back. Julio now leads projects that assist young people in difficult situations, offering not just advice but practical tools to overcome life's challenges. He has learned that true transformation begins in the heart but is strengthened by action and a constant desire to improve. In addition, Julio launched a program to help rehabilitate young people involved in crime, offering them not only spiritual support but also educational and employment opportunities. He believes lasting change happens when faith is combined with concrete actions. His initiatives have impacted hundreds of lives, becoming a symbol of hope and perseverance. And so, Julio continues his journey no longer as a lost young man, but as an example of what is possible when strength is found in faith. His path is a testament that, with determination and trust in God, anyone can overcome the toughest obstacles and find a greater purpose in life. Looking ahead, he dreams of expanding his work, reaching even more people who need a light to guide them back to the path of hope and redemption. We've reached the end of Julio's inspiring story, a journey that reminds us that even in the most challenging moments, there is always a way back. Every mistake, every obstacle, and every doubt faced transformed into lessons that helped him become stronger and more determined. Julio's story teaches us that no matter how far we've fallen or how lost we may feel, there's always hope and always an opportunity to start anew. True change begins when we look within ourselves and decide to pursue what truly matters. Whether through faith, the support of loving people, or the willpower to say no to what strays from our values, transformation is possible. Julio proved this, and he now serves as living proof that it's never too late to take control of your life and seek a higher purpose. If this story touched your heart, reflect on how it might inspire your life or someone close to you. Share this video with anyone who needs to hear this message of hope and renewal. And don't forget, supporting our work is essential so we can continue to bring stories that transform lives. So leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell to ensure you don't miss any content. Thank you so much for your company, and we hope to see you again soon. Until next time.